So in this video, I want to go into the specifics of what we're trying to make the ball do when we're hitting different types of cross-court. Now, the first example I want to look at is when you've created a situation where your opponent's hanging over to one side. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just look at a backhand exchange. Maybe your opponent is hanging over to the left. They're possibly covering the drop, or they're looking to cover a volley here. And in doing so, they've created a big open space in behind them here. They might be pushing up a little bit further forward, in which case the space becomes even bigger. So what we're trying to do in this situation is hit a narrow cross court that is still wide enough that they can't volley, but it's got to be quick, but we're looking to get it fading away. So, in the clips, you'll see a couple of different examples. The first one sees the ball bouncing somewhere near the back of the service box and dying and fading away. So the ball's not touching the side wall or the back wall on either bounce. So it's going in quick. So if your opponent's going to get that ball back, they're going to have to scramble and they're going to be flipping the ball up, or they're going to have to try and get on the volley. But hopefully the width is too good and it's gone in too quick, so that they're unable to do that. So the reason we're looking to hit this shallow cross court is that we want to take the side wall and the back wall out of play, and we want to stop the ball from popping up off the side wall, popping up off the back wall, and giving your opponent the opportunity to get the ball back. If they're up here and the ball's dying and fading away, it's very, very hard to get behind the ball, get the racket on the ball and keep the ball in play. Whereas if you hit the ball too wide or too deep, suddenly the side wall does come into play, or the back wall does come into play. The ball pops up and they're able to get the racket on ball, and you kind of let them off the hook. So that shallow, narrow cross court that runs away is really important. The second type of cross court you'll see is the ball heading in towards the back wall, where it's maybe the potential for an outright winner isn't quite so great, but it's still got to be wide enough to prevent the volley from happening. But the key thing is getting that weight of shot right, so that the ball is dropping off the side wall or dropping off the back wall, so that you're forcing your opponent to hit underneath the ball. So this is a pressure building shot. You're looking to capitalize on the situation, get your opponent working and forcing them to hit up underneath that next ball to give yourself the opportunity to attack. Space might not be quite so big or quite so obvious as the first example we talked about, but you're still looking to apply pressure, and the weight of shot is key here. You don't want to be over hitting the length, hitting it too deep so that it hits the back wall and sits up. You want to be getting the ball fading and dipping onto the back wall or the side wall so that it's dropping and going away. Now, the third type of cross court that we might think about is the one that actually catches the nick. So again, there's this opportunity to hit a winner, but you're sensing that your opponent is maybe a little bit more central or a little bit further up the court. And in being further up the court, as we've talked about before, they have this opportunity to close down the volley, to take the ball earlier. They close down that angle. So you need to hit the ball slightly wider. And in doing so, you maybe are looking to catch the nick here or over on the backhand side. And it can be an outright winner if it does catch the nick, or once again, you're hoping to force your opponent to play that boast or that back wall boast. But it is an outright attacking shot where you're looking to put pressure on your opponent, but you're doing so with that extra little bit of width. So what does this say about where we're aiming for on the cross court? It shows that actually there is no specific target at the back of the court, and your target is completely relevant to where your opponent is on the court. If your opponent's up the court, you've got to hit wider. If they're hanging over and they're further up, you've got big space and you're looking to fade the ball away and give them no opportunity to get the ball back. So think about that when you're hitting your cross courts. It's not, oh, I hit the cross court at the back of the service box. It's where is my opponent and what do I need to do to hit the optimal shot to apply the most pressure or win the rally.